So today we're going to look at creating this stitch pattern. I've called it Breaking Waves, and the pattern's kind of a combination between a Catherine wheel stitch and a more traditional wave pattern. This I've turned the right side, but if we flip it over, it's very similar, slightly more angular on the other side. So this stitch pattern works with a multiple of 8 plus 1 stitches, and I've just started with a foundation single crochet row of 25, so that's 24 3/8 plus 1 is 25. I'll pop a link below to a tutorial to make a foundation chain, but you can also work a normal chain and then work a single crochet into each chain across, so long as you have that multiple of 8 plus 1, 25 in this case, to start. So this blue is my contrast colour, and I've just joined this yellow yarn to start with the main colour. So to start, we're going to make a slip stitch in that first stitch. I've chained one before making that slip stitch there, but it doesn't count as a stitch. And I'm going to ignore the cat and work with US crochet terms as we go. So I made a slip stitch in the first stitch. I'm going to skip those 2 stitches, and I'm going to work 3 double crochet into that next stitch. And in the next stitch, I'm going to work, let's just show you that first. So that's kind of a half shell, if you like. And the next stitch, I'm going to yarn over twice, and I'm going to work a treble crochet. So that's double treble if you're working in UK terms. Then in the next stitch, I'm going to work 3 double crochet. Then I'm going to skip those next 2 stitches, that's 1, 2, and just slip stitch into that next stitch. So that's completed my first repeat. So I've got 8 plus that 1 at the start. So I am now just going to repeat that all the way along this row. So I'm going to have 3 repeats altogether. So that's skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, and then work 3 double crochet into the next stitch. Then 1 treble crochet in the next stitch. And then 3 double crochet in the next stitch. And then skip 2 and slip stitch into the next stitch. So that's my second repeat. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn. I'm just going to bring my contrasting yarn in, and I'm going to join that. Normally I would join the new yarn in the last stitch of the previous row, but in this case I'm just going to join it there, and it's going to kind of act as a chain 1. So now I'm going to start with a single crochet rows. So if you've worked kind of zigzags or chevrons before, you'll kind of be familiar with this. You'll get familiar with it quite quickly. So I'm going to start with the slip stitch and that first stitch, which is the last of the 3 double crochet, and work a single crochet 2 together in those 2 first stitches. And what that does is that's kind of half the bottom peak, which will make sense when we get to the next one. So I've worked single crochet 2 together in the first and second stitches. Then I'm going to work 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. So I've worked into those 3 double crochet from the previous row. Then in the treble crochet, I'm going to work 3 single crochet. Now, if you're eagle-eyed, you'll have noticed that I've done this slightly differently. I've worked 3 double crochet into that stitch, but I've used the invisible increase method, which I will link to below. Then so I've worked my 3 double crochet. I'm going to work 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches, so this is working down the other side. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to work a single crochet 2 together, but I'm going to work it into these 2 stitches here, and I'm going to miss the slip stitch. So I'm going to insert my yarn, pull up a loop, miss that slip stitch, insert it into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 3. So that's my first repeat done. So let's just do that again. So insert into the next stitch and make a single crochet, make a single crochet in the next stitch, then 3 single crochet in the next stitch. So what I'm doing is I'm doing 1 in the back loop, 1 in both loops and 1 in the front loop, and that's just a little just reduces the size of the hole when you're increasing. So then I'm going to work 1 single crochet in the next stitch, 1 in the next stitch, and then I'm going to work that single crochet 2 together, skipping that middle stitch. So that is my second repeat. Let's do it one more time. 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches, 3 single crochet in the next stitch, which is our treble that we're working into the top of, double treble again if you're UK, 1 single crochet in the next 2, and then we have 2 stitches left. So that's the first double crochet of that 3 and the slip stitch, and I'm going to work another single crochet 2 together over both of those stitches. So that's row 3. Now I'm going to turn, I'm going to work a second row in the contrasting colour. Excuse my frog. I'm going to basically repeat that row again. So I'm going to work, start with I've done my chain 1, start with a single crochet 2 together. Gets a bit harder to see in this dark colour, so I hope you can see it okay. So that's my single crochet 2 together, 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then 3 in the next stitch, which I'm just going to work all under both loops there, and 1 single crochet in the next 2. So that's single crochet 2 together, 1 single crochet in the next 2, 3 single crochet in that top stitch, 1 single crochet in the next 2, and then I'm going to make another single crochet 2 together, missing that middle stitch. So in this row it's not a slip stitch, but we're just going to miss that center stitch. Just reduces the bulk doing it that way, and it kind of helps pull the stitches in to make that trough. So let's do it again. 1 single crochet in the next 2, 3 single crochet in the top, 1 single crochet in the next 2, and then that single crochet 2 together, missing that stitch. So I'll just repeat it across to the end. Single crochet 2 together to finish. So that's my kind of half peak like at the start. Then I'm going to change back to our main colour. So you can fasten off, and it depends what you're making, but I'm just going to carry the yarn up the sides for the purpose of this demonstration. So I'm going to start the next row by chaining 3. So we're back to our main colour. Then I'm going to work a treble in that first stitch. Then I'm going to work a double crochet 3 together over these next 3 stitches. 1, 2, so that's my double crochet 3 together. And I'm going to chain 2, and I'm going to slip stitch into that next stitch. So that stitch that I'm slip stitching into, try saying that 10 times fast, that is the center of the 3 single crochet that we worked in the previous row. Then I'm going to chain 2, and then I'm going to work another double crochet 3 together over these next 3 stitches. So I'll work this one a bit slower. So yarn over, insert a hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's like a normal double crochet so far. Yarn over, insert into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Then one more time, yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. We've got 4 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through those 4. That just pulls those 3 together. Then I'm going to make a treble into that next stitch. Now this stitch that I'm making a treble in, that's the single crochet 2 together that we worked at the base of that trough. So let's just do that. Then we're going to work another double crochet 3 together. And then I'm going to chain 2. This chaining 2 is important because it keeps our stitch count the same. Then I'll slip stitch into the next stitch. So that's our repeat done of that section. So I'm just going to work it again. You can see with this one, so with the first row of main colours, we had 3 full kind of shells, if you like to call them that. Whereas this, we're going to have 2 full shells and 2 half shells. So let's just work that one more time. We're going to chain 2 and then double crochet 3 together. Then we're going to work 1 treble, yarn over twice, double crochet 3 together, chain 2 and slip stitch into that stitch, which is the center of those 3 single crochet. So to finish, I'm going to chain 2, work a double crochet 3 together, and then at that last stitch I'm going to work a treble crochet. So that finishes row 5. So what I'm going to do now is kind of make the peaks. So we'll turn, I'm going to chain 3, then we're going to kind of mirror that previous row. So we're going to start with a treble crochet. Then we're going to work 3 double crochet in the next stitch, and that stitch is our double crochet 3 together from the previous row. We're going to slip stitch in the slip stitch. It's a good tip to keep your slip stitches not too tight so you can work into them. So I've skipped that chain 2, then I'm going to skip this chain 2 and work 3 double crochet in the top of the double crochet 3 together. This is a mouthful. Then I'm going to work treble crochet in the treble crochet from the previous round, 3 double crochet into the double crochet 3 together, and I'm going to skip that chain 2 and slip stitch into the slip stitch. And then we're just going to repeat that again. So that's skip the chain 2, 3 double crochet, 1 treble crochet, 3 double crochet, skip chain 2, slip stitch. So for the last half shell, we're just going to do the same thing, 3 double crochet and then 1 treble crochet into that last stitch. So that's our first row of waves complete. So we're going to kind of border that with the contrast colour all the way out. So I'm just going to pick that contrast colour up again. Again, I'm just gently carrying these up the sides. So we're going to start again working all single crochets. This one we've got, remember this is our kind of half shell, so we're going to work 2 double crochet in that first stitch. Then we're going to work 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches. So you can see it's like the last row but just offset. So again we're going to work single crochet 2 together. Did I just say 2 double crochet there? 2 single crochet. We're going to work a single crochet 2 together, skipping that slip stitch. Trying not to get my other yarn caught up. And I'm going to work a single crochet in the next 2, 3 single crochet in the treble crochet from the row before, 1 single crochet in the next 2, single crochet 2 together, skipping that slip stitch. So we're going to repeat that all the way across, and then the next row we'll just do exactly the same. But obviously you won't be skipping the slip stitch, you'll be skipping the single crochet 2 together. So in that last stitch, we're just going to work 2 single crochet like we did at the beginning. Chain 1 and turn, and then we're just going to repeat that row across. So it's 2 single crochet to start, 1 single crochet in the next 2, single crochet 2 together, skipping the middle stitch, single crochet in the next 2, 3 single crochet in the top, and just carry that on to the end. And then we finish with 2 single crochet in that last stitch again. And we're going to drop the contrast colour and just loop on the main colour. And then we're ready to start our last set of repeats. So this will be, these are rows 1 and 2 of the pattern repeat. This is 3 and 4, 5 and 6. So we're going to do 7 and 8. And then it's just repeating from here through to the end. So we're going to start basically like this, kind of opposite to this first row we did. So we're doing like the mirror image. So we're going to start with a slip stitch in that first stitch. Then we're going to chain 2, probably becoming familiar now, and then work double crochet 3 together, and then we're going to work a treble crochet in that next stitch, double crochet 3 together, chain 2 when we've done this, and then slip stitch into that top stitch there. Just going to repeat that across. I've put a link in the comments to the written pattern, so it might help you to follow the written pattern along with the video pattern. To finish with a chain 2 and a slip stitch in the top of that last stitch, chain 1 and turn, and then we're ready to do the last row of the pattern repeat, which is essentially going to be a repeat of this row but shifted across half a shell or wave. So start with a slip stitch. It's actually exactly the same as this row that we did here. Skip my chain 2, 3 double crochet in that next stitch. 1 treble crochet in the next stitch, 3 double crochet in the next stitch, and a slip stitch in the slip stitch. So to finish, we're going to slip stitch, and this slip stitch can get a little bit lost, which is why I chain 1 at the start of the row. So there we have it. Then the next stitch is, the next row will be a repeat of this section here, and you just repeat that up and up as long and as wide as you like. As you can see with this version, which I haven't sewn the ends in yet, but I will be joining it at the edges to make a cowl. You can see how the repeats kind of line up on a bigger scale. Again, there's a slight difference with the front and back side. I actually can't decide which side I prefer. So really it's entirely up to you. If we compare them next to each other, you can just see there's a slight difference here. One day I prefer one side, the other day I prefer another side. So I hope that was helpful. Enjoy, happy hooking. Thank you for watching. Sorry about the cat. Sorry about my tongue twisters. Enjoy breaking waves.